You've probably noticed it. There's a quiet shift happening among men everywhere, a kind of awakening that doesn't come with noise, anger, or rebellion, but with the cold clarity that only life can force into someone's chest. It's the moment a man looks at the world, at modern dating, at modern women, and finally admits to himself, something isn't adding up anymore. And that's when everything changes. Because the most dangerous man is not the strongest, not the loudest, not the one with the sharpest tongue. The most dangerous man is the one who finally sees the truth without needing anyone else to confirm it. You start noticing how affection today often comes with conditions, how attention feels like currency, how loyalty is treated as an outdated idea that only the foolish still believe in. You see smiles that feel rehearsed, connections that feel temporary, and intentions that feel borrowed, not owned. And in that moment, something inside you stops searching for validation. You stop trying to fit into the expectations of a world that doesn't know what it wants. You stop trying to impress women who only understand interest, not effort. This is the awakening men don't talk about, but feel deeply. Welcome to Female Code Unlocked. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, because what we talk about on this channel isn't the surface level stuff everyone repeats. This is the deeper psychology, the unfiltered truth about modern women, modern dating, and the reality most men feel but never say out loud. Now let's go deeper. And here's the part no one admits out loud. When a man pulls back, not out of ego, but out of realization, a woman feels it like a shift in the air around her. It's not dramatic. It's not explosive. It's the quiet kind of withdrawal that unsettles her the most. Because silence exposes truth. She starts wondering why your messages feel colder, why your energy feels untouchable, why you don't fall for her charm as easily as before, why the man who once tried so hard now doesn't try at all. And that's when modern women face a truth they never thought they'd meet. A man who wakes up to reality becomes a version of himself they no longer know how to manipulate. Because you now see the little things, the inconsistencies she hoped you'd ignore, the mixed signals she expected you to tolerate, the emotional games she thought you'd never understand. You used to give excuses for her behavior. Maybe she's tired. Maybe she's stressed. Maybe I'm overthinking. But now your mind whispers something different, something more honest. No, she's just not choosing you. And that clarity hits harder than heartbreak. It's the moment you stop romanticizing potential and start evaluating reality. You see how modern women can demand the loyalty of a husband while giving the effort of a stranger. They want commitment without accountability, attention without reciprocation, affection without responsibility. And the frightening part? Many men used to accept this imbalance because they were afraid of being alone. But not anymore. Men today are learning that loneliness is not their enemy. Being used is. You begin to realize that your presence is a gift, your attention is a privilege, your loyalty is rare currency, and not everyone deserves it. You start noticing how peaceful life becomes when you stop chasing people who drain you, when you stop proving your worth to someone who doesn't even value their own, when you stop settling for temporary emotions packaged as permanent promises. This is the awakening women never prepared for. A generation of men becoming emotionally self-sufficient. Men who don't crumble when affection disappears. Men who don't beg for clarity from someone who thrives on confusion. Men who don't need validation from a woman to feel like men. And here's the twist that modern women never expected. When a man finally understands his value, the power shifts. Quietly, completely, irrevocably. She starts realizing the things she took for granted: your consistency, your reliability, your emotional strength, your intention, your effort. Things she thought would always be there, because men like you were always there. But not anymore. You've changed the rules. You've changed the dynamic. You've changed yourself. And once a man evolves, he never goes backward. It's not that you love less. It's that you love smarter. It's not that you're cold. It's that you're controlled. It's not that you stopped caring. It's that you stopped investing in people who don't know how to care back. You're not angry. You're not bitter. You're not resentful. You're simply awake. Awake to the fact that effort must be mutual, intentions must be aligned, respect must be reciprocal, and connection must come from both sides, not just yours. And modern women, the ones who rely on emotional shortcuts, validation games, and temporary attention, they're finally realizing something. They can't manipulate a man who no longer needs their approval. But here's where the shift becomes even more powerful. Because once you wake up, you stop responding to the things that once controlled you. A late reply doesn't bother you. A sudden cold tone doesn't shake you. A disappearing act doesn't break you. You don't chase. You don't negotiate your worth. You don't beg for someone to see what they're blind to. Instead, you observe. You watch patterns instead of promises. You pay attention to effort instead of excuses. You measure energy instead of words. And that's when everything becomes clear. The modern dating world isn't hard because women changed. It's hard because men stayed blind for too long. But not anymore. You're beginning to see the subtle ways modern women keep power, the delayed replies designed to make you overthink, the selective attention that keeps you invested, the emotional breadcrumbs she drops to keep you from walking away, the sudden acts of affection that appear right when you're pulling back. These things used to confuse you. Now, you see the psychology behind them. Because you finally understand something most men never figure out. She doesn't treat you better when you try harder. She treats you better when you value yourself more. And that truth hits with a kind of force that rewrites the way you move. Your energy becomes scarce. Your attention becomes deliberate. Your emotions become earned, not freely given. You stop being the man who is easy to get. You become the man who is worth keeping. And that's a very different kind of power. You no longer get attached to potential. You get attracted to consistency. You no longer fall for charm. You fall for character. You no longer respond to chaos. You protect your peace like it's gold. And when a woman feels this new version of you, she reacts. Some will step up. Some will match you. Some will grow with you. But others, the ones who rely on manipulation, confusion, and emotional inconsistency, they will panic. Because they depend on men who doubt themselves, not men who define themselves. They rely on your insecurity to create their sense of power. They rely on your effort to create their convenience. They rely on your fear of losing them to keep you in place. But when you're no longer afraid of walking away, they lose the very control they once enjoyed. And this is what men are waking up to across the world. You are not powerless in modern dating. You've just been giving your power to the wrong people. When you reclaim it, everything changes. Your presence becomes a privilege. Your love becomes valuable. Your attention becomes rare. Your time becomes sacred. And modern women, the ones who never appreciated you, begin to realize the truth they never saw coming. A man who sees his worth is a man she can't play with, can't manipulate, can't emotionally corner. Because the strongest version of you isn't the one who fights for her attention. It's the one who doesn't need it. Not because you're cold, not because you're damaged, but because you finally understand something ancient, stoic, and undeniably true. A man who controls himself cannot be controlled by anyone else. This is the awakening. This is the shift. This is the moment modern women never expected and men desperately needed. There's a moment in every man's life when the noise fades and the truth becomes louder than anything he's ever heard. A truth he once avoided, once feared, once denied, but now embraces like a shield he should have carried long ago. It's the moment he stops asking, "Why don't modern women appreciate men like me?" and instead starts asking, "Why did I ever give my energy to someone who didn't deserve it?" That's the shift. Not anger, not bitterness, awareness. Awareness that you were never too emotional. You were just giving your emotions to someone who wasn't emotionally mature. You were never too available. You were just available to someone who wanted attention, not connection. You were never not enough. You were simply more than she was ready to value. And when this realization hits, it changes how you move through the world. You stop treating modern dating like a battlefield. You start treating it like a filter, a filtration process that separates the ones who want convenience from the ones who want connection. You stop fighting for clarity. You start matching effort. You stop proving yourself. You start protecting yourself. Because you now understand something that most men only learn after heartbreak. You can't inspire loyalty in someone who enjoys options. You can't create commitment in someone who fears responsibility. You can't build a future with someone who lives on temporary emotions. And once a man accepts this, he becomes untouchable. Because the man who used to pour endlessly into the wrong woman now pours into himself. The man who once chased chaos now craves peace like oxygen. The man who once settled for breadcrumbs now demands the full meal. Or he walks away without hesitation. And here's the irony. This upgraded, self-aware, emotionally sovereign version of you, the one who no longer gives everything away so easily, is the very version modern women never expected to face, because they were prepared for the old you, the eager you, the hopeful you, the overgiving you. But this new man, the man who sets standards, not just feelings, the man who observes patterns, not just potential, the man who values peace over validation, he is the man modern women can't manipulate, can't confuse, can't control. And deep down, they feel it. They feel the power shift every time you choose silence over reaction, every time you choose distance over desperation, every time you choose self-respect over temporary attention. Because the man who doesn't need her is the man she can't replace. And here's the truth most modern women aren't ready for. When a man finally understands his worth, he becomes the prize. Not because he plays games, not because he manipulates, not because he pretends to be something he's not, but because he masters himself. And a man who masters himself is a man no one can master. So let this awakening settle deep into you, not as a moment, but as a mindset. You are not hard to love. You are just loving the wrong person. You are not emotionally weak. You are emotionally invested. You are not less than. You are giving more than you should have. From here on, your value is not up for negotiation. Your peace is not up for sacrifice. Your self-worth is not up for debate. You've awakened, and now, everything changes. This is Female Code Unlocked, where men stop surviving modern dating and start understanding it. If you felt this in your chest, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next deep dive into female psychology and the truth behind modern relationships. Until next time, stay sharp, stay aware, and never forget your worth.